Board of Trustees for the Village of Carpentersville to order tonight at 7 p.m., April 17, 2018. Please call roll.
Trustee Humfer.
Here.
Trustee Lawrence.
Here.
Trustee O'Sullivan.
Here.
Trustee Rayberg.
Here.
Trustee Frost.
Here.
Trustee Vela. President Skillman.
Here. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Remain standing for desperate time. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Let's pray. Dear Lord, we thank you for the privilege once again of inviting you into this meeting, knowing you desire to bless and prosper those who seek your counsel. We thank you for the privilege of your involvement with the village board in its decisions and all the processes and plans and purposes set forth from these proceedings. We ask your blessing. We ask for your wisdom to be released among us tonight, especially those entrusted with the future of our village. We stand in faith with our board members, department leaders, police and fire departments, with all those in authority in the village, asking your protection, counsel, and wisdom as we move forward together in the bond of unity to which you have commanded your blessing. In your wonderful name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. Okay, proclamation, resolution awards. Tonight we have Arbor Day. Arbor Day is April 27th this year. What are we doing in the park, Bob?
Parkview School will be joining us, approximately 100 students, and we will be planting a evergreen type tree to the north of the Veterans Garden. That tree represents the Christmas tree, if you will. The rangers come decorated and have a decorating ceremony. Kids will participate in the coloring contest, and they'll each have an opportunity to throw a shovel full of dirt.
Awesome.
Very
Thank
nice.
you. So the 27th is a weekday, right? Tuesday. Okay. What day it is? Friday. Okay. 27th. Okay, excuse me. Whereas in 1872, J. Sterling Morton proposed to the Nebraska Board of Agriculture that a special day be set aside for planting trees. And whereas this holiday, called Arbor Day, was the first observed with the planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska. And whereas Arbor Day is now observed throughout the nation and the world, and whereas trees can reduce the erosion and precision topsoil by wind and water, cutting heat and cooling costs, moderate the temperature, clean the air, produce oxygen, and provide habitat for wildlife. And whereas trees are renewable resources giving us paper, wood, for our homes, fuel for our fires, and countless other wood products. And whereas trees in our village increase property value, enhance the economic vitality of business areas, and beautify our community. Now, therefore, I, John Skillman, President of the Village of Carpentersville, do hereby proclaim Friday, the 27th of April, 2018, as Arbor Day in the Village of Carpentersville. And I urge all citizens to support the efforts, protect our trees and woodlands, and to support our village's ongoing forestry program. And further, I encourage all citizens to plant trees and gladden the hearts and promote the well-being of present and future generations. Dated and signed, the Village of Carpentersville, Kane County, the 17th day of April, 2018. Thank you, Kelly. That was awesome. So, next, do we have any appointments?
None.
None, okay. Do we have any public comment?
No one.
No one signed up? All right, so next item is consent agenda. All items on the consent agenda will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion on those items unless the trustee so requests, in which event the item will be removed from the general order and business and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda.
I'll motion to pass the consent agenda.
I'll second.
Motion, Trustee Humfer. Second, Trustee Rayberg. Call roll, please.
Trustee O'Sullivan.
Yes.
Trustee Rayberg.
Yes.
Trustee Frost.
Yes.
Trustee Humfer.
Yes.
Trustee Lawrence.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Thank you, everyone. Next item would be our manager report, and we have Mr. Angus here tonight. Mike, from the Chicago Area Mountain Bikers, just give us an update, our annual update, I believe, or semi-annual.
Okay. Everyone, I think most of you know me, but Mike Angus, I'm the North Regional Director of Canberra, responsible for the trail systems at Keith Andres Bike Park, as well as Raceway Woods in Carpentersville, and I'm going to give you an update today on both those venues. And I'll also like to be sharing with you some insights and some ideas that I have for the village to take economic benefit from what we're creating. So I wanted to share that with you today. A little bit about the mission of Chicago Area Mountain Bikers. We're basically a trail building group. We are a 501c3 non-profit organization consisting of volunteers. None of us get paid. We all do this for charity. We basically raise money, provide labor, and build trails for bikers, mainly bikers to use, but multiple constituents use our trails. Hikers, dog walkers, photographers, you name it. We do it. If you have a look, we actually are broader than a trail organization. We are pretty much take a lot of care for the environment as well. Last year, we planted over 100 oak trees at Raceway Woods. We also seeded the area with native plant species. We also cleared about 8 acres of invasive trees from the forest preserve. And we're doing the same at Keith Andres Park, and I'll be showing you that a little bit shortly. We also have a lot of community involvement in what we're doing. Keith Andres Park, we have a lot of the local kids ride the park as well as help us build the trails. So we consider ourselves conservationists as well as community members as well. Across the page on, sort of make sure I'm showing the right pictures to you. Across the page on Keith Andres Bike Park, we've been building Andres Bike Park out now for about 5 years, I think it is. It's gone very well, and it continues to do well. It is quickly becoming regarded as one of the top biking venues in Illinois, and I think when we're done with it, it'll be one of the top biking venues in the USA. So we have great plans for it. We continue to invest in it all the time. Our plans for this year is, number one, you'll see our block number 1 there, maintain the bike park, just keep it in top working order. We're about 80% complete with the bike park piece, which are the jumps and the things that the kids like to enjoy and the BMXs. We'd like to put a pump track in there eventually and just finish it off with a simple skills area. But it's a progressive bike jump park that starts off from the very beginning of biking all the way through to the most advanced. The area 2 that you have up on the board there is what we call the flow trails, which is more mountain biking trails, flow trails where you don't have to pedal, you go down the hill and you enjoy the ride down the hill. And we're also putting a drop zone in there. And that's the primary area we are developing this year. We have already spent $15,000 developing that area in the first month of this year. Actually, the last 2 weeks ago, we finished that off, and we'll continue building that side out as we go through the year. Our budget for the year is $35,000, and that's, of course, depending on whether we raise the money. We're a charity organization, so as we raise the money, we will fund the construction crews and buy the materials needed to build out the bike park. Our maintenance schedule is the first and the third Saturday of the month, so we get volunteers out there to help build over there, and we are using one of the top trail building companies in the USA to help us build out the park, which is Pathfinder Trail Building. Really, really nice to be working with Adam Buck there. And then we just keep on ad hoc maintenance as the park needs maintenance. We'll keep on maintaining it. As I mentioned early on, we're taking out the invasive trees as well as putting in native seeds in the areas where we've cleared as well. And we also probably clear the park of trash once a week at least. So there's not much trash. It gets trashed on a daily basis, but we basically clear it out. So we're doing a lot for the community over there. I think over time, I think Andres Bike Park will probably be the second best bike park in Illinois. It's coming second to the Big Marsh project, which has $8 million of investment in it. So tremendous asset you're getting here in Carpentersville. And we're going to continue improving it as the years go on until it becomes really first class. It is first class at the moment. Events coming up, Memorial Day. We invite the Andres family out, who the park's named after, to the event. They're very strong supporters of what we're doing, as well as most of the residents in the area are very supportive of the efforts that we put in place there. Just some pictures across the page here, just to give you an idea. Top left is the latest work that we did. This is the drop zone, which people basically ride off, starting at 2 feet all the way up to 4 foot. Ride off, learn your skills on how to ride a bike. Bottom left are some of the kids helping us out with the trails that we're building there. Local kids just come down from their houses and help us work out. Got a biker jump in there. And once again, just a lot of kids. You go there at any time during the week, there's 20, 30 kids there after school riding in a very safe environment and really enjoying it. And we're attracting riders now from all the states around us. It's becoming very well known. And as I said, over time, it's just going to carry on getting better and better. Parking has been an issue, and what we're trying to do is we're trying to spread it out a little bit. If I go back to this picture here, we're going to try and start getting traffic in from the old Boys and Girls Club. So we split the traffic up into 3 different areas. So it's something that the village might want to have a look at over time as it becomes more and more popular, is how we handle the traffic that's coming in here. Raceway Woods. Raceway Woods has been, and I cover Raceway Woods because it's in Carpentersville, and you'll see why I cover it shortly. We maintain the trails with the agreement that we have with Kane County. We have a 10-year agreement to build the trails out at Raceway Woods, and every year we build a new phase. We have 5 miles of single track in there. It's very different to Andres Bike Park, and we purposely design them differently so we cater to a broader group of people. But we've got 5 miles in there, and every year we put in an additional phase. We also work very closely with the historical aspects of the area, which is the Old Meadowdale Racetrack Association. We work very closely with MERPA. All our trails are named after the historic features of the racetrack, and we work very closely with the conservationist June Keebler in Kane County in terms of maintaining the grounds over there. We have a $25,000 budget for there, so if you look at all in all, we're going to be investing $60,000 in and around the Carpentersville area this year. There's quite a lot of maintenance there, or money being spent in here. Across the page, just to give you an idea, top left, we worked through the winter this year. We removed about 7 acres of invasive tree species. We have our burn licenses. We burn, we herbicide, and we seeded after the areas we cleared out there. The trail on the bottom left, that's the sort of trail that's at Raceway. And once again, a lot of people being attracted from lots of different areas into the Carpentersville area due to what we've done there. At top right-hand side, we removed 3 tons of metal from Raceway Woods over this winter. It was picked up by Kane County today, and they actually weighed it. It was 3,000 pounds. And then we're planning to start events there. We're going to have demos, bike demos. We had Giant there last year. Once again, very successful events. And as people, they really like the venue because it's a close venue. We're going to start seeing a lot more bike demos and putting people into the village through those demos. Across the page here, I wanted just to share with you a vision that I've had for a long time, and I've been communicating. Carpentersville has a very unique setup that's happening here, and I refer to them as assets. And if the village really buys into this, it can be of tremendous benefit to you. If you have a look at this picture here, I've put, you can see Andres Bike Park, ABP, and Raceway on the 2 extremes over there, but that's not all you have. You have the Bruner property, which Kane County recently purchased, and I know the Dundee Township's involved there. You have the Fox River Trail on the other side of the river, and you have the Long Meadow extension that's coming through, which you can cross over the river. If you look at that as a whole, you've got a really unique set of assets forming here from a recreational point of view, which the village can really take advantage of and maximize. We're putting a lot of people into this area. I think over time you're going to possibly see 1,000 to 2,000 people every weekend coming in because of these assets that you have here. If you have a look at the economics of that there across the page here, on average, this is average. What I'd like to do over time is actually do a survey on this and measure it. But on average, when you get a trail user into your village, they're spending about $30 for every time they visit. That's on gas, that's going into your restaurants and things like that. And if you add that over time, it adds up to a substantial sum of money. So once again, I just encourage the village to have a look at what's going on here, take note of it, and to take advantage of it. I really think Carpentersville is set on a good path right now. I really like what I'm seeing. I really like the development that's happening in the area. I think it's on a positive way. And I think over the next 10 years, if you really nurture the assets that you have and where you're going, I think it's going to be a really turn out to be really good. I really like where it's going. So that's all I have really. On the next page here, I basically just highlight once again, we're attracting outside revenue to the village. I do think that you're going to see an increase in your property values, particularly around Andres Bike Park. I think we've upped that area substantially already, and I think it's going to continue to get up. And then just things for the kids to do. You can see that area. It used to be up to no good, the kids down there, and now they're riding their bikes and they're having fun. And I see they people walking their dogs there and people running through there now. That never used to happen 3-4 years ago. So I think overall we're in very good shape. That's all I have.
Great, thank you. Any questions, you guys?
Do we have access to this PowerPoint slide, or I'm sorry, these slides?
Pass it on to you.
Could you? Because I'd like to send it to Business Districts Inc. for them
I was gonna
to
ask,
view.
Were you interviewed yet for the?
Yeah, he was. He took part. Yeah, Mike was a big help. Thank you for doing that, by the way.
Okay.
If residents wanted to help volunteer, can they reach out to you on Facebook or through
Yes,
website?
we have a Facebook page, Keith Andres Facebook page. We're also going to start putting the information flyers in the kiosk that you put up there by the memorial, the Keith Andres Memorial. So we're going to start putting in pamphlets in there, so people are most welcome to join us at any time.
Awesome. Love hearing the residents talk about it.
Yeah, they in favor of it. I can say that.
Yeah.
This is a great presentation, great deck. Is this now that we kind of have this in-house here, could we get this out on social media? People are, spring's going to happen here eventually, and people are going to be looking for things to do.
Eventually.
So the timing couldn't be better for getting a deck out to the residents, saying here, hey, maybe you didn't realize, but you have this blue ribbon park plus Raceway Woods on top of that.
Yeah, a lot of people are unaware of it. They can't believe. I get a lot of people like, "Hey, I used to live here 10 years ago. I moved out. I can't believe this was here. Why wasn't this here when I was here?"
Yeah. And this is great because it's all visualized. It's all Google Maps with overlays on that, and that I think really will get the residents engaged.
Over time, I'd love to link everything to the Fox River Trail. I know Kane County is speaking about looking at Raceway Woods linking to the Fox River Trail. If we can find some access through the Lake Marion area there with the conservation area over there, maybe try and link it all in might be a really good plan. When you do that and you create these hubs, as I refer to those, you get access to these RTP grants, which once again brings a lot of money into the district. So, if we all work together with this, I think we can all mutually benefit from it.
You may have just answered the question, but is there anything that the village isn't doing right now that we could be doing to help you out more?
I think parking is a big issue. I did see you just passed the Kane County issue with the land over there, with the land acquisition there. So I really thank you for that. That will be really big help for Raceway Woods. One of our limiting factors at Raceway Woods was we were maxing out the parking lots, and Kane County intends to change that into a parking lot. So that's going to help out tremendously.
Yeah.
So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other reports? Yeah. Okay, next item will be old business. We have no old business.
Correct.
New business, a resolution approving an agreement for website design and hosting services between the Village of Carpentersville and Civics Plus.
I'll motion to pass this resolution.
I'll second.
Motion by Trustee Humper, second by Trustee Rayber.
Yep.
Thank you. Yeah, so what I'd like to do is just kind of give a brief overview of the website redesign that you have in front of you. Listed as one of the goals for the village board for fiscal year 2018 was a website redesign to go along with one of the other goals, the rebranding of the village. The village website does play a major part in the image and brand of the village as it helps attract new businesses, residents, and visitors. The website is essentially the book cover for the village. Helping showcase why Carpentersville is a great place to live, work, and play. And we're hoping with the new website that it does convey that message. Just a little background, the website was last fully redesigned in 2012. We did do a minor update again in 2015. While the site has met the needs for the village and was a much improvement from the previous site back in 2012, it is time for a new look. It's time for better functionality that focuses on creating a more user-friendly, self-service government experience for our community. The focus will be to not only improve the appearance of the site, but also increase citizen engagement by giving residents easier access to information, documents, and ways to request and interact with the village. After reviewing 19 proposals that were submitted through the RFP, which was posted at the end of December of 2017, village staff is recommending working with Civic Plus for this project. Just a little bit of background, Civic Plus is one of the leading providers in government websites. They have over 2,900 clients across the country, many of them in the Chicagoland area. They bring a lot of knowledge, expertise in local government. Local government is all they do. And they have the expertise in the local government space and really understand how to best meet the needs of the citizens and businesses in the community through our website. With our focus of increasing citizen engagement, listed on the screen are just a few of the key features that will help accomplish that. I won't go through all of them. You've had a chance to read a couple of them, but Smart Search, it's a predictive search engine. Up in the top right-hand corner, you'll see, you start searching for something. You can start typing board, and it'll start giving you 5 options of what you may be wanting to type, and give you some options to just, select that, or you can continue to type. Alerts, we're going to have updated alerts across the site to go along with Notify Me, which is a really cool feature that end users can sign up for all kinds of different notifications, whether it be a bid posting, a job posting. There was a news alert that we posted. They can sign up for all the things that pertain to information they want to know about. They can get these alerts through text message, email, different ways that they can get that information. We're going to enhance the social media integration. We plan on having a portal that allows us to put information in multiple channels from one spot. This is a huge relief on the back end, from somebody like myself when I'm trying to get information out there. All I have to do is go to one spot and I can send it out to Facebook, Twitter, the website, the newsletter, so I can hit all those different channels from one spot. We'll have an updated agenda center. It'll have a new look from a resident's perspective, but also on the back end, it'll help workflow with the clerk and department heads submitting agenda items. And then Google Translate is a really nice feature to have on the new site. There'll be an option, and I'll show you on a couple of examples that I'll put up on the screen, the ability to change whatever language you want to view the website in. And there's, I didn't even count, but there's probably about 50 different languages on there. So that's a nice feature. What I want to do is just kind of bring up a couple other websites in the Chicago area that have recently been redesigned by Civic Plus, just to kind of give you an idea of the experience that we'll be creating for our own website. I won't go into detail on each of these websites. I welcome you to kind of check a few of these out, and I can provide a list of other websites in the area, just so you get a feel for what to expect. And if you like something, dislike something on some of these other websites, definitely let us know, since we'll be kickstarting the implementation process here soon. So just a few of them. Oak Brook, recently redesigned. One thing you'll notice is this "how do I?" It's kind of, you'll see that kind of across a lot of these. So when the residents go in there, that's the question that they're asking a lot of times is, how do I do something? So this will bring up one of these mega menus with all kinds of different options of what might answer their question. And that predictive search I was talking about is up here. You just start talking or start typing board, and it starts predicting what you may want to see. Aurora, they just recently went live with Civic Plus. Kind of just see they, theme across here, important items that, citizens may want to access, and then just some news, and then some of the features that I really like are the calendar, a featured video, and then a tie into their village Facebook page. Another one, Northbrook, also has a nice looking site.
Yeah.
And then I pulled up Hanover Park as well.
Looks nice.
They're very recent, and they just went through rebranding as well. So they have a new logo that is tied into theirs. So that's the other thing. This is going to fit nicely. The time frame is going to fit nicely with the rebranding. Last I heard, we should expect some type of logo maybe towards the end of May. So with our time frame, this is going to work out perfect because at the end of May, we're still in the kind of like the design phase, and we'll be able to provide that information to Civic Plus to kind of help build in that theme. So as far as like the timeline goes, we're probably looking at 4 to 6 months from start to finish. You hope for 4 months, but you have different phases that have to be completed. So we're hoping September, October is when we look to go live. That's kind of the time frame here. That's all I really planned on presenting. If you have any questions, or if you want me to go into more detail on something, I'd be more than happy to do that as well.
Any questions?
I do. I'm really happy to see all the pictures. That's what I was hoping to see, images when you open it up, and then deciding from there where you want to go. So I'm pretty excited. I like everything that you've shown so far.
And to go along with the pictures, we're going to look at different photographers to kind of get out now while things are starting to.
There's a lot of photographers in Carpentersville. You'd be surprised. You do a search, and it's amazing.
A couple names of people we're going to reach out to.
Yeah.
So we know that we need pictures, and I really like the bike park. I want to make sure we get some pictures at the bike park too, to kind of feature on the homepage, and then just across the page. There's so many different places where you can put pictures. So we need to take a ton of pictures.
I like the video that you have in there as well. That'll give us, we've been talking about that in business development, about using video more often to kind of highlight especially our public safety areas and successes that we've had there. But that can expand to just about any area, so it's good to see that.
Yeah, that's why I want to make sure that we have, like, I don't know if it would be a video of the week, but kind of just like a featured video.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how quickly we'll be able to come up with some type of video on a weekly basis. But
Any other questions, comments?
Looks nice.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so we have a motion on the table. So we need a roll call, please.
Trustee Rayberg,
Yes.
Trustee Frost,
Yes.
Trustee Humper,
Yes.
Trustee Lawrence,
Yes.
and Trustee O'Sullivan.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Thank you. Next item B, a resolution accepting a grant in the amount of $75,000 from the Illinois Housing Development Authority's Abandoned Residential Property Municipal Relief Program.
I'll pass this to get some extra money.
Yeah. It's an
I'll
easy.
second that.
Trustee Humper and Trustee Frost, seconds. Any discussion, any questions?
I'm assuming this is going to be similar to what we've done with other non-for-profits.
This was offered by the state of Illinois, the $75,000 grant for property maintenance and ordinance violation abatement costs. It was last offered in 2014 by the state. We used it at that time to demolish a couple of buildings. We can use it for paying for lawn mowing. We can't do any interior work, but if there's exterior work, garage doors, things of that nature that we might want to do, or we can also use it for demolition too. So it's got a 4-year window, 2 years back, 2 years forward, but we just need to pass this resolution going forward for the $75,000.
Kind of interesting, we use it for lawn mowing, and yet most of our houses have been sold. But, you know, I'm sure we'll find ways to ease the expenses of the village with this grant.
Yeah, actually, we have a
Absolutely.
couple properties that need to
Right.
be taken
Yeah.
down, so
Mm-hmm.
so it's gonna be perfect.
What about using it for the school, the old Tom Thumb building?
That would, never mind.
That's a good thought.
Okay, so next item,
We
roll
gotta
call,
vote.
roll call, thank you. Thank you, trustee, or what's
I'm an attorney.
your attorney?
Yeah.
Mr. Brad.
Trustee
Julie.
Lawrence.
Yes.
Trustee O'Sullivan.
Yes.
Trustee Rayberg.
Yes.
Trustee Frost.
Yes.
And Trustee Humper.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. We got the grant. We already have the grant, correct?
Yes, we awarded it, we just need to do this in order to complete the paperwork.
Yes. All right, trustees report. Trustee Frost, why don't you go first tonight?
Let's see. Seen more action outside in the parks, and I was at Keith Anders Park after the Sparks meeting last month. I took a walk through it. Very impressed. Looks really nice. I'd like to say thanks to the fire chief. We had a class fire ops over the weekend. Weather was terrible. It was Saturday. Carpentersville was nice enough to, the chief was nice enough to invite trustees to a Fire Ops 101, and it was an all-dayer. Had all the gear on all day long. Did a great job, sat in a fire. It was really impressive. It was opened up a lot of eyes. Had all the gear, I mean the backpack and everything. Thanks to the Elgin firefighters too, also for putting it on. And it went really well. It was an eye opener. So that's all I have.
That's it?
Yep.
Thank you. Trustee Rayberg.
Echo Trustee Frost's thanks to the fire department and to Elgin and to everyone that volunteered their time and took time away from their family to help us better understand what the fire departments face on a daily basis. It was a great program, weather notwithstanding. Next audit and finance meeting is April 24th at 6:30 in the Public Works building. 3 kind of topics we'll be sinking our teeth into. We're going to discuss updates to TIFs number 1 and 3. We're going to discuss changes to our credit card policy or provide an update on our credit card policy as well. And then lastly, take a preliminary look at our 2017 financials. And then we're also going to discuss future meeting dates too, but I won't list them here. We'll get all that out there after it's approved.
Awesome. Thank you. Trustee O'Sullivan.
I too was part of that fire ops program on Saturday put on by the firefighters union. They did an excellent job. Friends and family pointed out that I looked like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man in the gear. But if the objective was to show us how arduous and difficult and risky the job of a firefighter is and how you have to use both your brawn and your brain, the objective was accomplished. That's a difficult job. And, to hear about it is one thing, but to experience just a tiny taste of that for one day is a completely different dimension of understanding, and I appreciate the opportunity to do that. That's all I got.
Thank you. Awesome. Trustee Lawrence.
We have an events committee tomorrow evening at 6:30 at Public Works. And to chime off, the Fire Ops 101 was amazing. It was really nice to see the participation of South Elgin, Naperville, Wakanda, trustees from different areas, carrying 50 pounds on your back all day. going home sore, and some had to go to work or work the following day. You don't get a break from that. The importance of saving a life, saving a home, and then the way that things have changed over the years, where the textiles that we utilize now and furniture with the retardants that they have on them, the carcinogens, and that opens up a lot of cancer scares for our firefighters because of it seeping through their protective gear. So very interesting to see if they have some type of a cancer research for these firefighters. After 9/11, a lot of the rescue dogs and firefighters came down with cancer, whether it was asbestos or the textiles of the buildings. So looking forward to speaking with our firefighters on what we can do as a community to look into those textiles and things like that. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Trustee Humphord.
Yeah, we have a Business Development Commission meeting next Tuesday over, we'll be on the second floor here in this building. It'll be at, I believe, at 5 o'clock as we normally have it. And then we have another branding meeting the following day. So I'll have more for our next meeting when we meet. That's all I had.
All right.
Thank you.
Trustee Humphord. I also attended Saturday. Thank you to Lieutenant Bolliger, Lieutenant Simpson, and the other firefighters that were there. I think Brandon Wempkin, and yeah. Who was yours?
Chad Parker.
Chad Parker and I forget Bernard. Ryan Barnard. So they were all there on their, for their own time. So that was awesome. What Diane was going to talk about, I think, is that they worked a code. They did a mock code, and so we got to see them actually. Some of the Elgin firefighters actually go through a code and the different things they do. So, and they're actually pretty. They liked our equipment. We have some of the best equipment that's out there, you guys. So, just so all the trustees know that, and the residents. So. We have some of the best gear and best firefighters around, so we're proud of them, of course. And thanks. Next is we have some announcements. We have Cinco de Mayo celebration coming up May 4th, 5th, and 6th at Carpenter Park. So we want to advertise that. I think Bob and his gang have been getting the signs up. Excuse me?
We already put it out on social media.
It's already out on social media, correct. So share that on your Facebook sites, please, and let's try to make it a successful. Also, Trustee Maria, she was had a school function tonight, so her job, so she had to be at the school tonight. That's why she's not here. So I want to make sure everybody understands that tonight. And we have lots coming up at Dundee Crown against Jacobs. There's going to be a basketball game coming up, so if anybody wants to go back and play, that went to Dundee or Crown, not me. I'll be announcing the game or something, but no, my cousins will be reffing the game, so they're alumni and they're state referees, so they'll be reffing the game. So it'll be fun, boys and girls, different game, men's and women's, whatever. So it's going to be a good time, and it's for a charity, so it's for a young man, one of the students that suffered a stroke, so at his early age of like 30 years old. So so all the money's going to him. So anyways, okay, where are we at? Trustee committee reports.
President Skillman, may I
Yes,
make
sir.
one comment? And this is just a shout out to both the police and fire chiefs. We were able to record a podcast with the Lieutenant Governor of the state of Illinois, which was a lot of fun, as well as a separate segment with both Chief Kilborn and Chief Schilling regarding the opioid crisis, and specifically using Carpentersville kind of as a case study of what law enforcement has been doing to be proactive, as well as advocating the C4 program that's largely these two gentlemen, as well as many others in the village, have been instrumental in putting together. If anybody is not, I've already bored the department heads with this, but anybody among the board I was going to just add you to our newsletter distribution list that would have the link to the podcast. Unless you have an objection to that, I'd be happy to just add you to that. It should be coming out potentially even later tonight or tomorrow. So it'd be really nice if you could take the time to listen to it. I think it's informational and does a lot to, I think, show us in a very good light.
Thank you. So C4 meeting is Thursday night, correct? Thursday night, 7 o'clock at the Public Works Building, correct? So maybe we can play that Thursday night for them. I don't know, are they on the distribution, or can we get? We'll get it to them? Okay. Awesome. Okay, so next item would be closed session. A motion to enter closed session, please.
I'll motion.
I'll second.
Okay, it'll be for collective negotiating matters, 2C2 and 2C1, possible litigation.
It's 2C11. Yeah.
2C11, I'm sorry. Not 2C2. 2C2 and 2C11. We're going to closed session. Okay, so we have a motion and a second.
Trustee Rayberg, you motioned, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
And who's second?
I did.
I have Trustee Humber.
Trustee Humphrey.
Roll call?
Trustee Frost,
Yes.
Trustee Humper,
Yes.
Trustee Lawrence,
Yes.
Trustee O'Sullivan,
Yes?
and Trustee Rayberg.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. We'll go into closed session.